If you want some serious mind games and a cold, calculating protagonist, then you can't go wrong with Classroom of the Elite, especially with it getting a third season very soon. Welcome to AniScope. Today we'll be telling you all about Classroom of the Elite. More particularly, we'll be talking about the third season coming soon. So what is Classroom of the Elite anyway? It started as a series of light novels back in 2015. Then it became a manga and finally an anime. The world of Classroom of the Elite takes place in a not-so-distant future where Tokyo has created a special academy for only the most talented and gifted students. It's built on an artificial island in Tokyo Bay and works on a survival of the fittest philosophy where only the strongest students may succeed. So basically, it's a less over-the-top version of Honuji Academy from Kill la Kill. Although now that we think about it, adding battles with alien clothing to Classroom of the Elite sounds awesome. Anyway, our protagonist here is Kiyotaka Aonokoji. He reminds us of another anime protagonist we talked about recently, that being Sid Kageno from The Eminence in Shadow, only a lot less over the top than Sid. Much like Sid, Aonokoji's goal is to blend into the background and essentially float on by. He intentionally tries to be as average as possible to those around him, only the audience knows what he's really like. We'll be honest, Aonokoji is kind of a jerk, but in a fun sort of way. Literally the first scene of the anime is him justifying why he shouldn't give an old lady his seat on the bus. It really lets you know what kind of protagonist he's going to be. Because of how average Aonokoji makes himself appear to be, he ends up in Class D, which is basically the class for all the worst performing students at the academy. Because of the way the school functioned, those in Class D are afforded less privileges than other students. Mainly, they're not provided an allowance at the end of the month, the same way the other students are. Aonokoji's classmates all want to elevate their status, but he just wants to remain unnoticed. But things slowly begin to change for Aonokoji after meeting two girls in his class, Suzune Horikita and Kyo Kushida. It's the perfect show for if you like a series with hyper-intelligent, calculating protagonists. These characters are fun to watch when done well. L from Death Note is a great example of a genius character done right. It's hard to get a smart character right though, since, let's be honest, most of us are of average intelligence, so writing a super genius requires a lot of care and effort. If done poorly, it becomes pretty obvious that the writer isn't as smart as the character they created, and it's just making every other character an idiot to try to make the smart one look intelligent. But Aonokoji does come off as particularly well done, especially in the light novels where he's something of an unreliable narrator at first. Although that unfortunately did not translate into the anime as well. In the anime, it's pretty clear from the audience from the beginning that Aonokoji is good at manipulating people. The anime actually makes a lot of changes from the light novels. Some light novel fans may be disappointed, but we think most of these changes work. The biggest changes are probably expanding Horikita's role while also condensing the plot of the light novel. A lot of scenes with Horikita in the anime originally happened with other girls in the light novel. These changes are admittedly a bit of a mixed bag overall, but we think they did a good job adapting it. The animation studio behind Classroom of the Elite's adaptation is Lerche. They're probably best known for Assassination Classroom and their adaptations of the Danganronpa games. So yeah, they definitely seem to have a thing for adapting series about weird schools. But that's enough about the previous seasons for now. Let's move on to what we can expect from Classroom of the Elite Season 3. The previously mentioned Studio Lerche will be returning for the third season, so everything's gonna look pretty much the same as when we last saw it. This is a good thing, since sometimes it can be a bit weird to see the art style shift between seasons. For a famous example, let's look at the stark contrast between seasons 1 and 2 of One Punch Man. Of course, Classroom of the Elite doesn't have any epic battles like One Punch Man. Here it's all about mind games. We're glad Studio Lerche is returning. Season 3 is gonna be a big one, because we're gonna catch up to the end of the first run of light novels. Like we said before, the adaptation of Classroom of the Elite is very condensed. The first season covered volumes 1 through 3. Then Season 2 did volumes 4 through 7. Following that pattern, it seems like 3 is gonna be adapting the events of volumes 8 through 11, which means this season will take us to the end of year 1. It's gonna be exciting to see where the characters grow and progress as we make it through the school year. But what exactly will the final year at Tokyo Advanced Nurturing School entail? Well, stick around because we're gonna tell you. This season will start off with the students being taken on another special test, sort of like the arc where they were sent to an island together. In this case though, the students are going to be sent up to a mountain for this test. This is the mixed training camp. Here's how it works. Once they're at the mountain, the students have to split up into 6 groups based on gender, 6 groups of boys and 6 groups of girls. This should be interesting and perhaps give us some character interactions we don't usually see in the anime. In particular, Ayano ends up in a group with Horikita's brother, Manabu, so that should definitely be interesting to see. And of course, knowing the type of anime Classroom of the Elite is, things are gonna get competitive real fast. This series definitely reminds us a lot of Blue Lock when it comes to just how competitive and serious all of the characters are. It's just another thing we love about it. Pretty much everything that happens in Classroom of the Elite is a serious matter where almost everyone is scheming against each other. The mixed training camp arc should be no exception. Another important thing that you should look out for moving into Season 3 is that Arisu Sakayanagi is about to make some pretty big moves. She wants to utterly defeat Ayano Koji, and in Season 3, she'll be closer to this goal than ever before. Judging from the light novels, it seems that Arisu will be a major rival moving forward in the season. It'll definitely be interesting to see what Arisu's plans for defeating Ayano Koji become, and if she can even succeed at it. One last major event we'll be seeing play out in Season 3 is the end of the year exams. This is really gonna feel climactic. These characters who we've already followed through 2 seasons, and this will basically be one big finale to Year 1 arc. Of course, this won't be the end of Classroom of the Elite either. The light novel is still publishing, and if the 3rd season does well, we may just get a 4th season, which is pretty exciting. One last thing about the plot we'd like to note is that you should keep your eye out for some expulsions. After all, Tokyo Advanced Nurturing School is a harsh environment, and not everyone will be able to make it to the end of the school year. And with an expansive cast, you never quite know who it could be. Whatever's in the future of Classroom of the Elite, we'll be sure to check it out. We haven't had time to catch up on the light novels, so seeing this 3rd season should be exciting. The anime is set to release sometime later this year in 2023, and so far as we can tell, there's no set release date yet. If we had to guess though, the release date would likely be sometime in summer 2023, probably in July. With the pattern of the last 2 seasons, we can also safely wager that this season will be around 12 to 13 episodes. This would mean that the 3rd season would likely be airing up until the end of September or beginning of October. Whenever it comes though, it'll be exciting to see more of Ayano Koji's tricks and manipulations in the brand new scene. The new season's gonna give us a grand finale to the first year at the Academy. So, are you excited for the upcoming season of Classroom of the Elite? We know we are.